So, of course, Autodesk is one of the biggest names when it comes to computer graphics. I mean, you're talking about Maya and 3D Studio and XSI and Motion Builder, which is one of my favorites, but also Mudbox and a lot of other Stitcher, even down to Stitcher. And then, of course, you have Flame and you have Smoke for the Mac, which is revolutionary as far as how it's changing compositing from the top down. But, of course, one of the ones that I just had to show you is their new iPad app. So this is Fluid Effects, and what you can do here, you can see that it's basically this incredibly fluid. I just started it and now it's just kind of moving around, and this is just a fun little iPad app, and it's just almost a test of technology. But you can see that Autodesk is really playing with almost every format, from moving some of their high-end tools into the Macintosh to moving some of their high-end technologies onto the iPad. It's really exciting to see Autodesk not sitting back and relaxing, but really looking at what the next thing is. So definitely check it out. It's called Fluid Effects, and it's from Autodesk. So here at Nvidia, and while there's not a lot to show you specifically as far as walking you through an application, of course one of their bigger announcements is these new graphics cards based on their Fermi technology. So you have the Quadra 4000 board, and the Quadra 4000 board is going to, I mean, we're talking about over 200, it's 256 processors, the CUDA processors that they have there, and it's got 2 gigabytes of video memory. Now, if you go up a little bit further to the 5000 now, this thing has 352 processors and 4 gigabytes of video memory. And finally, the 6000, you've got 448 processors in there with 6 gigabytes of video memory. So this is crazy. Now, it starts at $1,100, ends up at $5,000 at the top end. But when you're doing these heavy-duty graphics where you just absolutely have to have all the power you can get, and when you start seeing the GPU accelerated rendering solutions and compression solutions, this is the next generation, and it's pretty exciting to see. Once again, Nvidia and their new Quadra boards. So we're here with Active, and now a lot of us have heard of the Cintiq. So this is a monitor mixed with a Wacom tablet that you can sit there and draw on, and it is awesome. It's a little expensive for a lot of us, and sometimes we don't need all the features that they're adding for us. You know, and we just need something that we can paint or even mark up stuff as we put it together. But we need a lot of that detail, but not all of it, and we don't want to pay $2,000 for a board, and that's what these guys specialize in. So here you can see this is you have a board that you can draw on here. Now it is a little bit more basic than what you see with the Wacom. So there's a lot of things that someone who's already got a Cintiq would feel like was missing. You don't have the eraser that you would normally have. You don't have a lot of the buttons that you would normally have. And so if those are things that the person really needs, it is still something that you're going to want to go back to them to get. But if you're looking to save a little money and just want a little bit of that interaction, want that video mixed with it, this is going to run you about half or less than a full-featured Cintiq. So it's really just a matter of choosing which one is most important to you. I think for me, for doing basic sketches, doing storyboards and doing markups and doing basic stuff where I'm trying to sketch stuff out, this would probably be enough for me. If I really want to get into the deep stuff that I would normally do with the Cintiq, I'd probably still lean towards that. But for the price, it can't be beat. Once again, it's Active. So here at Spheron-VR. Now, these guys have been around for quite some time. They started off with a still camera, and here's what you can see. This is actually a still camera here, and what this is this allows you to get HDR in one swipe. So this thing's going to go around, it's going to get all this stuff, 26 stops of information. So it's an incredible amount of data that is actually that it's grabbing both in resolution. So it's a big full spherical, but also in getting super deep color. So this is going to be for lighting models, for backgrounds, and so on and so forth. Now it started off with stills, and this is what they were known for. You got to check this out. So if we go over here, check this. This is a high dynamic range video camera. So now what we're talking about here is 1920 by 1080, so it's HD, but you also have 50 frames a second, 20 stops of information. This is the point when you start to see digital start pulling away from film. So no one knows how they're actually doing this, but if you look at some of the videos here, you have an enormous amount of information there. It looks good from the tests that we're seeing. This looks very, very compelling. Of course, it's not done yet, it's not shipping yet, so we have to wait until that actually happens. But we know that this is coming, whether it's for stills or video. Super high dynamic range is on its way, and this is one of the first times that we've actually gotten to see one at least close to working order. And once again, it's Spheron-VR. So we're here at Anthro, and you're probably wondering why we're looking at desks at a computer graphics conference. And the reason you're looking at desks at a computer graphics conference is that one of the number 1 things that happens that takes computer graphics artists out of the loop is RSI, all kinds of problems coming up with their arms, a little bit of bad posture ends up being a lot of problems when you're there all the time working. And I know it took me 3 or 4 weeks out of commission when I was working at ILM just because of the way I was using my mouse. And so this is one of the first steps, which is the desk. Now what you have here is this desk. Now it's up high, and you might not want to stand. Although, there are people who really, really swear by standing while they're working because it keeps you, lets you burn a little bit more, lets you stay looser, and so it's definitely something to think about. But if you don't want to, it's got a little button right here, and down we go. You don't have to. You don't have to push yourself very hard. Now I can sit down here if I wanted to, and if I want to go back up. Don't have to strain my back, don't have to take any risks of any lower back injuries. Just hit the little button and it just goes right back up again. And now you're able to stretch, you're able to get it as high as you need or as low as you need. And while these aren't necessarily that inexpensive, I think this is about $2,500 for this guy. When you're really got guys there all day, every day, this is something that can make a big difference. It is something that is a big investment. You usually don't see it until you see big companies because they're the ones that have the money and they're the ones that are dealing with a lot of the issues with losing their employees one after another to their arm issues. But it's definitely something that if you're looking for the perfect solution, Anthro is a great place to start looking. I'm here at American Paper Optics. Now, as you can see, I'm looking pretty stylish here with my Anaglyph sports glasses. These are, of course, the red and blue, or red and cyan, and that's the ones you're going to see all these options that are available on YouTube, and you're probably trying to figure out where you can get them. Well, this is the place that you can get them. Now, most people here are buying in bulk. This is for a theater or a group that you want to get a whole bunch of them. They can be as little as 25 or 50 cents each, or as much as $5 or $6 if you're buying them in packs. So you have Anaglyph; those are the ones we're kind of used to here. You have the trioscopics, which is kind of the more of a red and green. You have color code 3D, linear polarized, and circular polarized. Circular polarized is what you're probably familiar with when you're talking about real 3D and stuff like that. And then we have some chroma depth here. So you have a lot of choices in paper, and of course you have plastic ones over here. You have kind of the sporty ones that I was showing you a second ago. These ones I actually have about 30 of these. So you're probably wondering why I have 30. When we do tests and we're thinking about 3D, Anaglyph is the easiest one because I don't need any special projectors. I don't need anything else. I can simply just let everybody throw them on, and usually when you get them and they go up to YouTube and they start playing, they won't give them back. There's actually a lot of content up there, so definitely check out something like this if you're interested in playing with 3D and it's not and you can't find the Anaglyph, the red-blue ones, which is going to be the easiest one to use on your screen. Think about something like American Paper Optics.